We trust them. We hire them to be our digital guardians, our protectors in a world of invisible threats. But what happens when the very people we give the keys to our digital kingdom decide to become its predator? Today, we're diving deep into the dark side of ethical hacking, where that line between protector and exploiter is razor thin.
And I want you to really think about that for a second. It's not just a clever line, it's the absolute heart of the problem. You're handing over everything, all your trust, believing you're buying safety. The real question is, how fragile is that trust? And how often does it actually get broken?
While the answer might just floor you, get this. A staggering 74% of cyber attacks use the exact same skills that we legally teach and pay white hat hackers to use for our own defense. This isn't some tiny crack in the system, it's a massive paradox. The very knowledge we build up for protection is being turned right back around and used as the perfect weapon against us. So, to really get how things can go so sideways, we first have to understand the ideal, right? The noble mission behind ethical hacking in the first place. This is how it's supposed to work.
Okay, so a white hat hacker is basically a digital security expert that you hire to break into your own systems. They're the good guys, paid to think and act like the bad guys to find all the weak spots and patch them out before a real attacker can find them. It's all about keeping us safe.
And make no mistake, the good they do is massive. We're talking about an estimated $27 billion in losses that have been prevented by these programs. These are the folks who stop breaches that could absolutely ruin companies and expose the private data of millions. So when the system works, it works incredibly well. But the whole thing, it all hangs by a single fragile thread: intent.
And this right here is where that noble ideal starts to get a little shaky. Because the line between testing a system for weaknesses and actually exploiting it is incredibly thin. And the walk from one side to the other, it's dangerously short.
This analogy is just perfect. A scalpel in a surgeon's hand saves a life, but that exact same tool, with a different intent, can easily take one. The code, the methods, the tools themselves, they aren't good or evil. The morality comes completely from the person sitting at the keyboard. So, how does a hero become a villain? Well, it's rarely one giant leap. It's more like a slow slide down a very slippery slope. It all starts with permission, the good guy just doing their job. But then, temptation hits. They find something really valuable or a backdoor that gives them immense power. That leads to normalization. Bending the rules just this once, telling yourself it's okay. And before you know it, you're not just bending the rules anymore. You're shattering them for your own personal gain. And this isn't just theory. Look at EternalBlue. This thing started its life as a defensive tool created by the NSA. But once it was leaked, it became the engine behind WannaCry, one of the most destructive ransomware attacks we've ever seen. It paralyzed hospitals, governments, major corporations all over the world. A tool designed for protection literally became a global catastrophe. To really wrap our heads around this, we have to look past the tech and get into the human side of it. What is going on inside a person's mind that makes them cross that line from good to bad? Well, for starters, just look at these numbers. The pull here is just immense. You could be a totally respected professional making a great salary of $120,000 a year, or for finding a single undiscovered flaw, what they call a 0-day, you could make $2.5 million on the black market in one shot. For some people, that temptation is just way too much to resist. But it's not always about the money. Sometimes it's about the feeling of power. Just imagine having the keys to a system that millions or even billions of people use every day. The ability to see anything, to control anything. That kind of access can give you this intoxicating feeling of being a god. It's an ego trip that can make you feel completely untouchable and like you're above all the rules. And the data really shows this. While greed is obviously a huge driver, look at this. It's not even the biggest. Ego and the simple thirst for power is the #1 reason for insider threats. Right behind that is grievance, just feeling like you've been wronged and wanting to get revenge on your boss or company. These raw human emotions, they're the real vulnerabilities in any system. So let's talk about the actual tools of the trade. The specific software and techniques that are out there being used every single day for both good and for evil. Just look at this. These are the exact same tools. Metasploit can be a shield used by a white hat to simulate an attack and find weaknesses. Or it can be a sword used by a black hat to deploy actual malware. Nmap can be used by an auditor to map out a network for security, or by a ransomware gang to find their way in. It's the same tool, the same lines of code. The only thing that changes is the person typing.
And here is that zero-day dilemma in black and white. It's so stark. You find a huge unknown vulnerability. You have a choice. You can report it ethically, get maybe $10,000 and a pat on the back, or you can sell it on the black market for millions, knowing full well it's going to be used to hurt people. That's the moral crossroads these experts are facing all the time.
Okay, so the problem is crystal clear, and the stakes are incredibly high. So what do we do about it? How in the world do you build a firewall that can protect you from its own guards? Well, the good news is we are not helpless here. We can build our systems using a zero-trust model. That basically means trust no one by default. You verify every single action every single time. We can enforce really strict certifications and bring down harsh legal penalties for anyone who crosses the line. We use constant monitoring to spot weird behavior, and maybe most importantly, we train our people to be that human firewall.
Because at the end of the day, technology by itself is never going to be enough. A system is only as secure as the people who have access to it. The best firewall isn't a piece of software. It's a culture of ethics, of awareness, and of always being vigilant. It's human.
Which leaves us with this final, crucial question. In a world of digital shadows, where the tools of the hero and the villain are exactly the same, where someone can be a protector one day and a predator the next, how do we actually spot that blur before it's too late? I'm curious to know what you think. Let us know down in the comments.